The 2018 New Japan Cup is over. The Sakura Genesis main event is set. Spring has sprung. And I'm the guy from Spoiler Free Wrestling, and we're talking the New Japan Cup Finals was today. But before we get to that, if it's your first time on our YouTube channel, I want to ask you to please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're not missing out on any of the videos that we put out at Spoiler Free Wrestling. And it also helps more people find our channel and helps our channel grow. So today, the New Japan Cup Finals, Zack Sabre Jr. did to Hiroshi Tanahashi what he did to Tetsuya Naito, Kota Ibushi, and Sonata all throughout the course of this tournament. He made him tap out. Well, actually, Kota Ibushi didn't tap out. There was a referee stoppage, but won a match with a submission hold, made Hiroshi Tanahashi tap out to a move called Orienteering of Napalm Death. I'll repeat that for you. The move is called Orienteering of Napalm Death. So I looked this up because he mentioned that's what the name of the hold was. So I looked this up, and it's a modification of a move. It's a modification of an over-the-shoulder single-leg Boston Crab. So it's, but of course, the way Zack Sabre Jr. does it is he will tie up all of your other limbs while he has that hold locked in. And we saw this in what he did to Sonata in the semifinals. Well, what he does in a lot of matches is whatever limb his opponent puts out to try and grab the rope, he will grab onto that and, you know, twist it in a way that the guy would rather it not be twisted in. And when you're out of limbs, you got to submit. Sonata was down to a leg and he had to submit. Tanahashi, I think, had both of his arms, but he was in the center of the ring and going nowhere. He had to submit. And so the match today went similar to how many of Zack Sabre Jr.'s matches have gone all tournament long. A lot of it was grappling based, with Zack Sabre Jr. twisting his opponent's limbs in different which ways. But then Tanahashi would fight back. He'd get in a few moves. He'd do a diving senton or a sling blade. But inevitably, Zack Sabre Jr. would find a way to counter something back into either a submission-based offense or some type of pinning combination. And finally, it looked as though Tanahashi had gotten the better of him. He hit a high fly flow onto the back of Zack Sabre Jr., which normally sets up him hitting a high fly flow onto the front of his opponent. And if he does that, the match is over. So it was a moment where, oh, okay, if he hits this, he wins. If he doesn't, you know, Zack Sabre Jr. gets out of the way, and he puts him in a heel hook immediately. Tanahashi favoring his knee. And eventually Zack Sabre Jr.'s offense all starts to revolve around Tanahashi's knee and legs. Finally gets him into the Orienteering of Napalm Death, scoots himself and Tanahashi back into the middle of the ring. Tanahashi can have no more of it. He taps out. And it's revealed after the match. Well, it had been made clear before the match that should he win, Zack Sabre Jr. would challenge Kazuchika Okada. And there were no surprises after the match. He said he would have Okada, and Taka Michinoku translated this to the fans. He then goes to the back. The cameras follow him. He's got his press conference in the back. It was a very short press conference. Taka Michinoku, I'm pretty sure, screamed out, "Just tap out," I don't know that happened, but I feel it's likely that occurred. The beer they passed Zack Sabre Jr. was warm. He was upset by this. He said that when he's champion, things will change, and the first thing is that the beer will be cold. And then left. So the main event, April 1st, Zack Sabre Jr., Kazuchika Okada, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. If Kazuchika Okada wins, he will tie Hiroshi Tanahashi's single reign title defense record. I don't believe I said those words in the right order, but if you put them all together, I'm sure you get what I mean. So Tanahashi, 11 title defenses. Kazuchika Okada, he's sitting on 10. One away from the record. We had talked about over the weekend that maybe the story would be Hiroshi Tanahashi wins the New Japan Cup, goes on to Sakura Genesis, and is basically trying to defend his record and win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in the process, but that's not what happened. And now all of a sudden, Zack Sabre Jr. is a big star. Not that he wasn't a star before, but in New Japan Pro Wrestling, now he's a big star. He just walked through several of their biggest stars and is immediately a threat to Okada's title. Let's just take a look at Zack Sabre Jr. on Cage Match here. There, I just looked it up. Zack Sabre Jr. and Kazuchika Okada have definitely never wrestled each other, at least in terms of matches on the record. And that is coming from the German wrestling statistic site Cage Match, which is an excellent source for statistics. And it was in the Destruction in Hiroshima show on September 16th last year that Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Zack Sabre Jr. And so the series between them was tied 1-1, and Zack Sabre Jr. Just won the rubber match between the two today. And that is your 2018 New Japan Cup winner, Zack Sabre Jr., and your Sakura Genesis main event is set. Zack Sabre Jr. going up against Kazuchika Okada. If Okada wins, he ties Hiroshi Tanahashi's title defense record. And if Zack Sabre Jr. wins, he's the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. That wasn't all which took place on the finals show, though. A couple of interesting points as well I want to talk about. So earlier on the show, the Killer Elite Squad, Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer, they disposed of Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano, and then called out the champions, Evil and Sonata, although it's not perfectly clear. In fact, it's not clear at all when Evil is due to come back after suffering a broken orbital bone. Wide range of recovery times from a broken orbital bone, from a few weeks to several months. So I would imagine if Evil and Sonata are being called out, that that's good news for Evil's prognosis. Not sure exactly when we will get that match between those two teams, if it's possible to get it for Sakura Genesis. Strong Style Evolved is coming up in 4 days, but I don't know. I mean, that's not really enough time for a championship match. Usually there's much more notice than that, than just a few days. So I wouldn't imagine that's going to take place. Well, maybe, I don't know. Could take place at Sakura Genesis, or it could take place just somewhere else down the line. So Davey Boy Smith Jr. got a little bit of revenge in this match with Chaos. So Smith had been eliminated by Yano in the tournament's first round. Yano had crotched him on the barricade, and that had caused a count out. But it was Davey Boy who would pin Yano after KES gave him the killer bomb. So the Killer Elite Squad, like in terms of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Division, most of 2017, the titles were changed hands between Guerrillas of Destiny, War Machine, and the Killer Elite Squad. Now, out of those three teams, they had a bunch of triple threat tag team matches before the World Tag League, and then those three teams were in the Group of Death in the World Tag League. But while that was going on, Evil and Sonata won the other block. Then they defeated the Guerrillas of Destiny in the finals of the World Tag League. The Guerrillas of Destiny had won the Block of Death, which also included the Killer Elite Squad, who were champions at the time. Evil and Sonata go into the Tokyo Dome, and they beat the Killer Elite Squad. Killer Elite Squad now, though, calling for their rematch. They haven't gotten it yet. Of course, Evil has been out since just after the Australian tour, like mid to late February-ish, with a broken orbital bone, so not clear when he is coming back. Another big story coming out of the New Japan Cup Finals show today is Juice Robinson is in a position to challenge for a singles title in New Japan Pro Wrestling for just the second time in his career. And this is coming off a great performance in the New Japan Cup. So today, Robinson teamed up with David Finlay, and they defeated Chaos's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. Juice got the pin with the Pulp Friction on the never openweight champion Hiroki Goto. And as he pointed out to Kevin Kelly and Don Callis on the announce team, well, in not so many words, he pointed out that that should get him a title shot. So Juice Robinson looks like he is the next to challenge for Hiroki Goto's never openweight championship. So Juice Robinson in the New Japan Cup in the first round, he took on and defeated Yujiro Takahashi. That was on the first night of the tournament. He also faced and defeated Takahashi last year in the tournament. In the 2017 tournament, Juice dropped his quarterfinal match with the eventual tournament winner, Katsuyori Shibata. This year, however, in the quarterfinals, Juice picked up a win over Michael Elgin in a bit of an upset. Actually, definitely an upset. To punch his ticket to the finals. Then, after a 30-minute main event, Juice lost to Hiroshi Tanahashi, who he says is someone who is a bit of a mentor to him since coming to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Juice is one of those factionless baby faces, and they tend to be led by Hiroshi Tanahashi for the most part. So, should Juice go on to challenge for the Never Openweight Championship, which it seems as though he will, it will be just his second opportunity at a singles title. His first came at Destruction in Kobe in 2017 when he unsuccessfully challenged Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States Championship. Also, just a recommendation, Juice Robinson was on the Killin' the Town podcast with Lance Storm and Don Callis, which is a pretty good podcast. It's a little ridiculous sometimes, but and he talked a little bit about his frustration in NXT and the success he has found in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It definitely sounds as though Juice has no desire whatsoever to go back to WWE's system. But in addition to speaking on his own success, Juice also talked about why he believes New Japan Pro Wrestling is so successful. And I thought this was a good quote, so I put it up here. This is what Juice had to say. I really believe why New Japan is so successful is because wins and losses matter. The fans get behind people because they see the journey. They saw me start from nothing, losing every single night. Now I win sometimes. Now I don't lose as much, and they know it's just a matter of time. So in other words, Juice is trying to say, when wins and losses matter, and they see that Juice's character is getting better. Like his character used to lose all the time. Now he wins some, and they're like, all right, this guy's getting better. You know, he was just learning before, but he's getting better, and maybe, you know, he's going to grow into these title shots. Now he's in the semifinals for the New Japan Cup, and that just adds to the excitement that the fans have for him. Anyway, it's definitely an interview worth checking out. And there was some other stuff that took place on the show. We've got some junior heavyweight tag team triple threat action going on. Looks like a team featuring maybe Togi Makabe and Michael Elgin might be the next to challenge for the Never Six-Man Tag Team Championships, currently held by Bullet Club members Bad Luck Fale and the Gorillas of Destiny. Also, the rivalry between Tetsuya Naito and Minoru Suzuki continues to build, which should be interesting if Naito is going to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship again after he almost destroyed the title when he held it not long ago. I think that was last year that he was Intercontinental Champion. But we will get to that over the weekend. And want to thank everybody again for supporting these shows. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button to make sure you're not missing out on any of our videos or content from Spoiler Free Wrestling. Thanks again, everybody. I'm the Guy from Spoiler Free Wrestling.